Hey everybody, it's Dr. Winnie, and I'm here with the next installment of Sunday Dinner. This is a very special Sunday dinner for me because today is my mom's birthday, and she's 92 years young today. I'm so grateful to have her as my mother. I'm just so grateful God chose her to be my mommy because she's just been the most wonderful, kind, loving, affectionate, caring, giving, supportive woman. And not only to me, but to anybody who she crosses paths with. She's just one of those kind of salt of the earth people. She'd take the shoes off her feet, the clothes off her back to help a stranger. And that's the way she raised us to be. She raised us to know and love the Lord, as did my dad. And we grew up going to church. And that is the gift that they gave us that we continue to enjoy as a family today. I know that that's a big reason why we're still together. My dad is 91. He'll be 92 in February, and we'll have a big celebration for him as well. But today was my mom's day, and she was so excited. This morning when I was preparing the food, she called me 3 times, and I had to remind her, Mommy, I'm coming. Just give me a minute. I'm working on it, but we're going to have a lot of fun today. So I'm just so grateful to her. 92 years ago, she was born into this world in Mobile, Alabama, in a humble family with a couple of brothers and sisters. And she eventually grew up to go to Alabama State. And that's where she met the man who would eventually become her husband and my dad, William King. And they had 2 children, me and my younger sister, Angela. And my dad joined the Air Force pretty quickly. Very, very smart, brilliant person. And he did extremely well in the service. He was sent to San Antonio, where he became an officer, and then we moved to Japan. And we were there for several years. And a lot of my childhood memories are of Japan. And then we came back to the States. My dad was in Germany for a while. We went there to visit. But we lived, for the most part, in the Maryland area. And that was a great experience growing up around the D.C. area, where there's so much going on with politics. It was a very exciting city. My mom was a 3rd grade school teacher, and she eventually retired from that. And so both of my parents worked, but they never, ever took their eyes off of us. They were very loving and supportive, and we have so many wonderful memories. Anytime we get together, all we do is just laugh because we think of all the fun things that we had, all the exciting places that we went all over Europe on vacations. And just so grateful that God covered us and that we had no trouble, no problems, that we were able to enjoy ourselves. And I got a chance to really travel the world and see so many wonderful things, cultures, people, places. It was really, really quite a gift. So I wanted to make a Sunday dinner that sort of honored our upbringing living in Maryland, where seafood is the word of the day, and we grew up eating crabs and shrimp and fish, and my mom loves crabs, and she loves all of it. She loves shrimp and she loves fish, but I decided to make crab cakes, and this involved getting some lump crab and then putting it together with some eggs and with seasoning. You've got to use Old Bay seasoning if you're making any kind of seafood. That just is a standard. You've got to. And then some breadcrumbs, not that much, just a little bit, and other seasonings to make it taste really great. And then I formed it into patties, and then I put that in the fridge, let those kind of consolidate overnight. Then I decided to make a shrimp cake because my mom's never had a shrimp cake. In fact, I've never had a shrimp cake. And I found a great recipe for it, and it involved taking shrimp and cutting it up in 2 different ways, cutting it up very fine so it's like a paste, and then in bigger chunks so that when you bite into it, you really taste the shrimp. But there's also eggs in there and basil, and I cut up some corn and some bell pepper, and of course, got to put that seasoning in there. And then I formed those into patties as well and let those sit in the refrigerator overnight. Now, I also made some okra because my family loves okra, and I like really making okra now that I've come up with this new way of making it by baking it in the oven and putting a little smoked paprika and some garlic powder and onion powder and a little salt to taste and some olive oil and just letting it cook in the oven. It took about 35 minutes, and it comes out great. It's still just a little bit crunchy, but the slime is gone, and that's what people often don't really care for. So that's a great way to make it. And then I made French fries because any of you that have been in the Northeast, anytime you get any kind of seafood dish, you're going to get French fries. It just sort of comes with the territory. So I peeled some russet potatoes, and then I cut them up into French fries, and I put them in some cold water. And the reason for that is to really get the starch out of the potatoes. It helps to make them fry up a lot crisper when the time comes around to cook them. So I fried them up in some vegetable oil. They came out great, nice and crispy and crunchy, and I think my family's going to really love that. Now, for dessert, I couldn't make up my mind, so I ended up making two cakes. One is a sweet potato pecan pound cake, and the other is a whipping cream pound cake. Now, the sweet potato pound cake required that I get some sweet potatoes and puree them so that, I had to bake them first, get them nice and soft, and then puree them, and then add them to the batter after I had creamed the sugar and the butter, and got it nice and fluffy, added eggs, then added the puree, added the all-purpose flour and some buttermilk, and also the seasonings, of course, the cinnamon. It's just a really, really nice mixture of things. This was my first time making this cake, and it came out really nice. And so once we got all of those things done, we put it in a baking pan and put it in the oven, took about 60 minutes, so it came out great. And then I made a buttermilk glaze to put on top of that. And again, now I did add some pecans to the batter, and then I layered the top of the cake with pecans as well. So it's definitely a pecan cake, and the buttermilk glaze really just makes it just pop. It's really great. And then for the whipping cream pound cake, it was actually really, really simple. It was just creaming the butter and the sugar together until it's fluffy, adding your eggs, all-purpose flour, heavy whipping cream, and vanilla extract, and then putting that in the oven. Now, this is a very dense cake, and so it took about 75 minutes to cook, and it came out great. I made another glaze for this one, a buttermilk glaze, but with a different extract. I wanted to use something. I used a vanilla extract on this one. The pecan pound cake, I used cake batter extract. So I wanted them to taste slightly different. And this came out great as well. So my mom's got the choice of 2 birthday cakes today, and she deserves it. So that's going to be the crux of our dessert. Now, I did make one last thing, and that's a butter pecan ice cream, because my parents loved it when I was growing up. And so I wanted to make that. I ordered the extract, got that online, and made that, and it came out great. Let it sit in the freezer overnight, and so we're going to have that as well. So I'm going to take off my chef hat, put on my doctor hat for just a moment. I just want you guys to think about what it means to live a long life. My parents have been blessed to do that, and so have a lot of other people. But it all really boils down to taking good care of yourself, avoiding stress, alcohol, cigarette smoking, all of the things that are unhealthy, just cutting those out if you can, and taking time to reflect and meditate and not be so much stressed. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to go see my family and spend time with them. I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.